Welcome to DatamineHub, a platform to collect, track, and analyze data for all industries. In this video, we will specifically explain in detail what a report is, why a report is needed, and how to construct it. This is a sheet containing order data. It has a total of 33 items. Each item contains the fields Amazon order ID, SKU, list price, quantity, cost per unit, supplier, and sold date. Seeing such data, you may want to analyze it further. Naturally, you may want to know how much SKU2 sold in total, what is the total cost of SKU2, and what is the profit? Or, what is the profit of supplier Amish? How is the return on investment? For statistical information such as these, we need to do some data aggregation operations on a certain field. For example, this is a report created based on the sheet just now. This report counts the sum of list price, the sum of cost per unit, and the sum of profit according to SKU. Let's take an example of SKU2. As you can see from the figure above, there are two orders for SKU2. The price of the first order is 27.99, and the price of the second is 39.99. Then the total is 67.98. The cost per unit of the first order is 1.1, and the quantity is 1. The cost per unit of the second order is 1.2, and the quantity is 1. So the total cost is 2.3. With the total sales price and total cost, we can conclude that its total profit is 65.68. As you can see from the figure below, it is indeed the case. This is just a simple example. You can design more complex and more useful reports. So where can you design reports? This is the purpose of the report module. There are 4 pages under Analytics in the left navigation bar: Reports, Report Models, Charts, and Chart Models. We will explain charts and charts models in detail in the chart video. The Reports page can be used to view the specific content of each designed report. And Report Models is used to describe the model of the report. Generally speaking, we design our report on the Report Models page first, and then view the specific generated report content on the Reports page after the design is completed. Reports are not generated in real time. There are daily and hourly reports, which we will talk about in detail later. Let's first look at how to design a report. Click the New Report Model button, and the model creation box will be displayed. The entire design process is divided into 3 steps. In Step 1, enter the report name and description. In Design Report 4, there are 2 different options, Template and Sheet. When we select Template, we can select any active template in the drop-down list. In other words, it will generate report for all sheets data based on the selected template. For example, there is a template A, and there are 3 sheets based on this template A. If we design a report based on this template A, then this report will be generated according to these 3 sheets. In other words, reports based on templates can span multiple sheets. If you select Sheet, you can only create a report for one sheet, and that report cannot span different sheets. You can decide whether to choose template or a specific sheet based on your actual situation. In our example, a sheet is selected. Click the Next button to go to the second step. This step contains more details. Let's take a look at the general structure first. It is divided into 3 parts. Group by, Group Fields, Custom Group Fields. Let's go through each one. Group by means from which angle to analyze the data. For example, you have 100 inventory items from 3 different suppliers. You want to know the average price of each supplier. Then you can divide these 100 inventory items into 3 categories according to these 3 suppliers, and then calculate the average price of each category. In this example, we group by supplier. Or as in the example at the beginning, a batch of order data. If you want to know the sales of different SKUs, we can classify the data by SKU, and then calculate the sales of each SKU category. Usually we may choose to group by SKU, supplier, and other fields that can be clearly classified. However, there is an exception, that is, date. A very common requirement is to know how the data is in different periods, such as the sales volume of each month. In this case, we set group by to a date. And the range is divided by year, quarter, month, and day. The default is monthly. Group fields is how to count the data according to classification. In this example, we selected group by SKU. Based on the SKU classification, we can find out how many products each SKU has sold and the total sales price. To do this, we can select the quantity field and the list price field, and select sum, which is also the default setting. Sum means summation, which is to add up the values of the field based on the group by classification. AVG means average, which is to calculate the average value of the field based on the group by classification. Next, let's add these two group fields and set the corresponding names. You can see that we have just added two group fields, total quantity, and total sales price. Total quantity is the sum of quantity. Total sales price is the sum of list price. Note that these calculations are classified according to the field set by group by, such as SKU in this example. That is to say, different SKUs belong to different categories, and their quantities and list prices will not be counted together. Only those order data with the same SKU will have their quantities and list prices counted together. Now let's look at custom group fields. To understand what it is, let's go back and look at the sheet on which our example report is based. As shown in the figure, this sheet contains order ID, SKU, list price, quantity, cost per unit, supplier, sold date. We just created total quantity and total sales price through group fields. But what if we want to know the profit? There is no profit field in this sheet. We can't create it through group fields. This is where custom group fields comes in. We know that for an item, its profit is equal to list price minus cost. And cost is equal to cost per unit multiplied by quantity. As long as we know the profit of a single item. Then according to the group by field, we can calculate the total profit. Custom group fields allows you to create such mathematical expressions. It is similar to field type formula. If you are not familiar with formula, you can refer to the documents and videos related to field type formula. Now, let's create a profit field. Click the Build Custom Group Field button to pop up the Custom Group Field Builder window. First, give this custom group field a name, such as total profit. Select sum because we want to calculate the total profit. Operator, operand constant, operand field, these three options have the same meaning as field formula. If you are not sure what they mean, you can refer to the video and document of field formula. We will also quickly explain it here. Operator is an operator such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and brackets. Operand constant is a constant. Operand field is a field in the sheet. For example, in our example, it is a number, decimal, and other numeric fields such as list price, cost per unit, and quantity. Now let's construct the mathematical expression of this total profit field. We have just created a custom group field named total profit, and its value is equal to the sum of list price. Subtract cost per unit multiplied by quantity. You can create as many custom group fields as you want. If you find that one is wrong, you can delete it by clicking the trash icon next to it and create it again. Click the next button to the next step. In the last step preview, summarize how the report is designed. An example of dummy data is also given. In this example, for the order data in the sheet, we classify them by SKU, which is group by. We calculate the total quantity, the total list price, and the total profit. However, profit is not a field in the original sheet, so we create an expression through the custom group field builder. Click the Create button to generate the report model. In this way, the report model is created. You can see it in the report model. In the operation menu, View Details can view the design details of the report model. Edit can modify the design. Lock can lock the report model to prevent accidental modification or deletion. The archived report model will not be used, but it can be used as a reference. Delete will delete it permanently. Here we specifically explain the pin to dashboard function. By default, reports are not refreshed in real time. When you just create a new report, we will prioritize it. Depending on the size of your data and the complexity of the report model, you may have to wait for 10 minutes or dozens of minutes. But after that, these reports will only be refreshed on a daily basis. Pin to dashboard allows you to select the most important or most frequently used report and display it on the dashboard page. The pin to the dashboard report will be refreshed hourly. After a while, Select the report model we just created in the Reports page, and you will see the generated report. If there is no data, you may need to wait for some time. Last refresh tells us when the report was updated. Let's quickly verify the report results. For example, SKU3. Go to the Sheet Items page and search for SKU3. Filtering 13 sales order data. We can use a calculator to calculate that the total list price is $250.99. And the total quantity is 13. Total profit is equal to list price minus cost per unit multiplied by quantity. The profit of 13 sales order data adds up to $236.59. It exactly matches the data generated by the report. If you pin this report to the dashboard, you can see it on the dashboard page. So far, our report explanation is complete. We have explained how to create a report model through a simple example. Our report designer is far more than this. You can design very complex reports. Thank you for watching. You can continue to watch our other videos and documents, and if you have any questions, you can always contact us.